Welcome, people. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's Adrienne, and we're here in my office area. 1 second, gotta get my beverage. All right, I'm back with my beverage. I have the little coffees today, not coffee, drink, coffee. Coffee. Just that little old person, dry cough thing. Feels like that, at least so to me. All right, so welcome. Today I'm in blissful blue. The weather is potentially 80 degrees or less. After 95 and up, I am enjoying it very, very much. So I got out yesterday to get, a few household goodies since I've been in with the weather. Where shall we start? How about Dollar Tree? They didn't have my kettle barbecue chips, so I went ahead and just got regular barbecue chips. Just the best snack. I am a savory, salty snack eater, so this is really, really fabulous. Love to have these on hand. And in fact, what did I have last night? Well, there you go. I had golden potato originals. All right, okay. Everything's about 150. This one has more fat, slightly more fat than this one. 250 sodium here, 160 sodium here, which I thought was quite low when I read that. All right, 2 protein, 1 protein, 2 protein. So I think it's all rather flexible, isn't it? This says that they're distributed by Wise Foods, Pennsylvania, USA. I don't know if that means it was made here or not, but it could be. Anyhow, I didn't look it up. And these are made in USA, says directly on it. And I do believe I paid $1.25 for each one of these Chip Delights. Yeah, I like me some Chip Delights, baby. You bet. All right, let's move the rubbish around. Now, I've shown you on the Target run recently cookies, and I said I've been into oatmeal, and if they had them, oatmeal raisin for sure, cookies. So this one was part of last night's with chips and cookies. That's, when I do my gotta have my carbos, gotta have my carbs. And this one said 25 less sugar, perfectly sweet, oatmeal raisin cookies, soft baked with real raisins. I wasn't aware that there were fake raisins out there, and I'm not being facetious. I'm not being sarcastic. I do not recall something saying fake raisins ever. Real raisins, people. Right on. Somebody in the comments, if you know there's fake raisins. Help me understand what's going on here. All right. These have 12 grams of sugar per 30 gram serving. All right, well, that was nice of them to say. Anywho, total, there's 5 grams of sugar. That's only 8%. Most of it was added sugar. 1 fiber, 12 carbs, 40 sodium, 5 cholesterol, 3.5 fat. So this is all in all an excellent cookie for the money. And these are a product of Canada. Go Canada, but don't go too far. You know how much the majority of us love and support Canada and everything they've ever done and been, and our friends in Canada. Go Canada! And these are from Canada. Makes me happy. All right, so thing is, and this opened really neat. It had a pull front, and you'd go all the way down looking for your cookies in their little homes. And what I've learned was soft baked cookies is they kind of stick together, and if you don't get your finger in there to separate them, they pretty much break up. Have to be cautious of these things, people. But as I said, from Target, I'd shown you I'd bought the Sausalito brand, which is about $4.50 versus $1.25. They're not the same at all. But I'm so happy with these. They really hit the spot of what I wanted. That seems to be my tick right now, is wanting oatmeal raisin cookies. Just something very easy for the tummy, tastes good. It's just not a dramatic cookie, I will say that. So the other ones I got, little Dutch made. Let's see, iced oatmeal cookies. And what we have going here, there's only 4 fat grams. Excellent, 2 saturated. I mean, again, right on fat-wise. 0 cholesterol, 90 sodium, negligible fiber, 19 carbs, 10 sugars, 9 of which were added, and 1 protein. This is 2 cookies a serving for everything that I just mentioned to you. But, so these are going to be crisp. They're not soft. They have a little sugar on them. Again, just a nice, in a cookie world, a little bland cookie. Be good for the tummy. You know, these are the times that I'm telling you that when my mind says we're not really going to eat. Just, no. That's the kind of thing that 99% of the time I can grab and get something into my stomach. Yeah, we want to, you know, we don't want acids and all those things. Now, these are red dots. These are up to $1.50, 1,000 sheet rolls. So at $1.50, that is $3 for 2. Obviously then, $6 for a 4-pack. Well, I'll go check at Target if they've gone up, because the Scott brand 1,000 sheet tissue rolls in a 4-pack I thought was about $5. If it's 6, I'll let you know. But within that, then I'm just gonna, you know, be buying my toilet tissue if I wish. Name brand at Target. But no toilet tissue in the house needed this. Well, there's one on the roll. There's one on the roll. But there was no back stock. So I picked up 2 of these. And I picked up one of my fruit, pineapple tidbits in light syrup. Yay, $1.25. A half a cup is a serving for 70 calories, 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, 0 sodium, 17 carbohydrates, 1 fiber, 14 sugars, 5 of which were added. And what do I always tell you? I pour the juice off. There's a lot of the calorie, the sugar calorie, sure enough, is in that juice that I don't need to have. After all, don't we have? Our flavor packets at 5 calories, but anywho, still got to remember to be on the lookout for I want shredded pineapple, you know, and crushed or shredded or whatever it's referred to. So I might have to go to Fred Meyer, you know, a Kroger type of store. All right. And I got my Libby's mandarin oranges. In fact, I got 2 cans of these, so yay, I have 3 cans of fruit ready for the go. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. For my son and grandson, grandteen, I went ahead and got 2 chocolate milks. Now my son had been drinking chocolate milk, which he was getting the really cute Nestle's or whatever has the, I don't know, but, you know, it's like 1 bottle shape and real kid looking like. But he could get that at 7-Eleven, where his work is, his garage. So while he's been dealing with the demons of his umbilical hernia pre-surgery, he was drinking chocolate milk every day. I have to say, I don't know if he'll drink this, you know. Just the fact that it's shelf stabilized, I don't know if he will drink this. But I always buy a couple for my grand teen. They don't seem to tell me that they get thrown away. So until I know differently, I shall continue to do that. And while I was there, I picked myself up another of the one I like, the 2% reduced fat. And now look at these. These are out till March 27 of 26. March 27 of 26. And then still in that carbohydrate needed for the tummy. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack. When do I need something in the tummy? I went ahead this time and got my tried and true. I tried the ones that were crisp last time. Very tasty, but not filling and as nutritious either, I don't think, as these. So what you're dealing with here again is the excellent 3 fat grams. Anything under 5 fat grams, honey, that's what you want. I mean, very hard to find. So we have 3 fat grams and only 0.5 saturated fat. Amazing. No cholesterol. 70 sodium, 28 carbohydrates, 1 fiber here, and it says 2 fibers here, like that. Okay, this is 11 total sugars, all of which were added, and 2 proteins. This one's 1 protein, 2 protein. All right, not quite sure why the strawberry wins over the apple for those extra goodies. And we know we like these. These are from the Netherlands. Very, very happy to have them on hand. You can see that it has texture to it, a little bit crumbly, with the filling very nice. 8 whole grains, no high fructose corn syrup, soft baked. Well, I know you're going to be like, well, Adrienne, come on. I saw that was breakfast bars, as it were, those. 2 bags of cookies. And we had the 2 bags of chips. What kind of house do you have? Well, I have everything that I try to just keep picking, because when I'm hungry, because I will get hungry, but I won't eat. I can have hunger. So weird. It's so weird, isn't it? But anyhow, I'm really glad to get all of that for sure. And on the way home from that stop, put that bag over there, I needed by Mart because I wanted to get trash bags. I was totally out of trash bags. That's it is when you're out of trash bags. So, in the neighborhood of $9 for 40 stretch-worthy type of bags. This is the By Mart brand, so your 13-gallon, that's your most typical common kitchen size trash can. So yay, now we have bag security. Yay, we love bag security. Then I picked up some more unsalted peanuts for the squirrels. They have done this last week so much maintenance in pruning trees, cutting. Yeah, when you see a big tree limb as long as 2 cars, and that's called pruning. And they had the machines here that had to, you know, chip, 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 chip up all of that. Oh, so noisy, kids. So noisy. And then my bedroom window looking out to the carport roof area, because that's where my car's parked, out front, and the bedrooms face that way. And just, there was a man sitting on the roof of the carport, and it was like, I felt like I could reach out and touch him. It was just so like, but here we go. Hopefully the squirrels are going to be calmed down and comfortable to be able to come back, because it's just been so loud. There's just been so much going on, and they don't know where they've been hiding. But I did get them their pretzels. They're good on that. Then They had the true lemons. These are usually $1.99 at Mart. And I went ahead and bought 2, not so that I'd have another cookie in the house for me, but in that vein, yeah. These actually tell you that for 4 cookies, 110 calories, and again, only 3 fat grams, but this time you got 1.5 saturated fat. That's a lot more than the others, but still reasonable for us to eat. 160 sodium, 19 carbs, 0 fiber, 10 sugars, 9 of which were added, and 1 protein. Also, I have little bags of something like this on hand. You never know. You never know. You might want to, your neighbor's there and you want to run out and say, here, leave them a little treat. Leave them a little treat, my property management gal. So I have this on hand for me. I don't think my son family likes these that much, but for that, I bought it with me and or gifts in mind. Also now, my son, when I was on staycation over in Gladstone, Oregon, turned me on to the Dots pretzels. So I do like every flavor, including the cinnamon raisin for a change. But I went with the original seasoned pretzel twists, big time flavor. Yay! Yay! So I'm getting that crunch like a pretzel, but I'm sure getting a lot more flavor. Buttery flavor, it says here. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm glancing through because I had never read. Okay, the ingredients look great. So we've got 6 fat grams. That's still terrific. That's 8% of your day. 0.5 saturated. Once again, very low, very good. No cholesterol. 250 sodium. 19 carbohydrates. No fiber. No sugar. No sugar. No sugar. No sugar, all that flavor, no sugar, and 2 protein, and that's 1 ounce, about 16 pieces is a serving. And I'll tell you, last night I had a small serving with some salami. That was delicious. That was delicious. I enjoyed that a lot. That gave me the savory, because as much as you see me showing you the cookies and things like that, for one, they're the closest like a bread for the cookie in that starch and wonderfulness. But the savory, potato chips all the way, what you could consider, I'm bending way over here, people. Oh. Bought myself 3 bags of my sunflower seeds. All right, 1/4 cup is 170 calories. So now you're looking at 15 fat grams for a 1/4 cup. That's 19% of your daily, and 2 saturated, 10% of your daily. No cholesterol, 210 sodium, 6 carbs, 3 fiber, people. 3 fiber to a 1/4 cup. Sunflowers are my pal. And total sugars is 1. It was a natural, and 6 proteins. And this is a good source of vitamin E as well. Yay! Yay! These are $3.99. I did, like I said, I bought 3 of those. And then for Miss Sassy, last in the bag, for Miss Sassy, yeah, Miss Sassy, her mixed box of the Petites, that's the key, Petites Fancy Feast, doesn't come with the beef. And I wanted her to be able to have the beef pate once in a while too, so I bought her. So these are $1.10, whatever the flavor. The Petites are $1.10 at Mart. And in buying them in the mixed box from Amazon, brought it down to 80 cents for the 3 flavors that they have in the mixed box. And she loves those. This is the most tried and true wet cat food that Miss Sassy has ever, ever, ever continually love. So right now we are on the Fancy Feast Petites for Miss Sassy. And here she has some beef pate. Look what they had again. Look what they had again. These little coasters. So I bet you it was $1.50. I didn't even, notice, of course. It was not $1.25. But I bought this once before. Here, okay? Always stay positive. It's a little coaster, but it's just so wonderful. And I wanted, I'm just getting a little friend mail together, and I want to put that in the box because my friend is my wonderful, wonderful Sandy. I've told her I've had the t-shirt for her from, I was going to get it for her birthday back late April. She's a Taurus like me. Mine's in May. She's in April. And then I went on a kick and got this sort of pink Asian themed goodies for her birthday. And now I'd shown that I had bought this fabulous blue cat, like the big wave paintings, and it's got the cats. And anyhow, so I'm getting her box together. Honestly, I am. Honestly, it's here next to me, cardboard taped, almost ready to go. So this will get added. Thank you so much. I was so happy to see you. I was like, oh, good. I love that because the positivity is, of course, what I have to acknowledge every day. I have to have positivity, yeah. Because right now I'm in my positive, uplifted, happy. My boy is healing well from his surgery. He even went back to work for a couple of hours this morning to take care of paperwork. You know how some of that paperwork is very timely. So he went in to do that, and he's going to be out the rest of the week. He thought his doctor had told him it was a 1-week recovery. And I thought that just sounded really, really not enough, and it wasn't enough. So, but when he goes back, he will have had a 2-week recovery, and fantastic. The biggest news in our family, and my grand-teen got his room cleaned up. Dad had got a new TV for the family. That is fabulous for them. And so the old TV went into my grand-teen's bedroom. So he actually, you couldn't see the floor, typical teen. He absolutely picked up his whole room, and now he's got this monster big TV at the foot of his bed. His desk area is all cleaned off, and that's where he does, of course, play video games and all of that kind of stuff, as well as his artwork. But I was in shock yesterday to see his room. I am just so proud of him and wonderful. And he and his cousin had caught the bus over to the comic book store. That's the new major thing in his life. And his dad was always a comic book collector and is still like so really happy that Kaya is enjoying that. And again, his comic of choice right now is one called Preacher. So just fun. And there's, if you've never been around people with comic books, there's a whole ritual to getting the sleeves to put them in a right shaped box that's the correct size so that all of the corners of the, it's just a whole thing. I'm loving that for him. We're going now, it's Thursday. We're going into the weekend. I hope you're all going to have wonderful ones. I haven't paid really close attention. I do understand that we could be looking towards some rain coming. So after the heat wave, potential some rain coming. I also have 2 food events at my apartment complex. We have a monthly food truck come during the summer, different food trucks. And I'm just seeing this thing here, just like really like, why do you want to pop out like that? Wigs. And people, this was one of my first wigs that I bought. So we're going into 3 years, 2.5 years ago. I bought this wig. It was everybody's favorite. It was discontinued. It's beautifully made. The inside of it is so much more wig professional than my other wigs. And I believe at that time I got it for like $13 or something. And that was my high end. That was my high end for sure. So today, what I'm wearing for y'all with my blue wig and my fabulous Temu blue drop dot, full of movement, like the hair, the earrings, this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful blue dress. I got this a long time ago, before I moved into this apartment. So I'd say it's at least 6 years ago I had bought this. Now this, when you're talking about polyester, look, nothing. It's a heavier weight than anything I've gotten in these Temu days. This was from Wish, I believe, a long time ago. It practically comes down to my ankles. Turning just a little that way. I'm a little trapped in here today. So, same pattern all the way down. It's just a nice moo shape, as you will. Very comfortable, very pretty, very, very pretty. And as I say, if I knew I could get this level of polyester, I would definitely be choosing to buy it on Temu, but anything that I've gotten in the polyester from Temu is not as thick as this fabric. So, but the fact that these never wrinkle, so I have a pink dress and this blue dress, and if I took those for travel, they'd never wrinkle. You'd rinse it out in the bathtub and hang it up to dry and wear it the next day. Maybe I should travel. I'm just so happy that I'm up and smiling and feeling good. I want to thank you all again for joining me today. As I was saying, it is Thursday, so with Friday and the weekend coming, if you have plans, fantastic. If you're just going to stay home and relax, absolutely fantastic. Anything you choose to do is what's fantastic. And here I'll be, all right? Yesterday's shopping put away, and I'm so glad I got to share it with you this morning. And let's get this uploaded. Bye-bye for now.